Hi, good morning or good evening, depending where you are. As a doctor for 53 years, a hospital doctor, then a suburban family general practitioner, then with my own drug and alcohol clinic, I was interested in the people who suffered most and got the worst treatment. I wanted to improve their treatment. And I was interested in what the main things were that determine whether we're happy and healthy or unhappy and unhealthy. And I'm sure that became sure over the years that the three things that mattered most in having a good life were mental healthiness, enough good relationships and no bad relationships, and no addictions. And one of the important things is to realize that we've all got happy chemistry and unhappy chemistry. And we need to make sure that our happy chemistry is flowing. Happiness is so important in healthiness. And happiness is different to pleasure. Pleasure is a part of happiness, but fundamental happiness and contentment is what's really important. Pleasure can be part of addiction. There are four main kinds of happy chemistry. There's dopamine, which underlies pleasure, and little bursts of dopamine cause little bursts of pleasure which contribute to happiness, but you can have little bursts of dopamine are the basis of addictions. Oxytocin is an important chemical in relationships, and serotonin is the real happiness, contentment chemical, and over 20 endorphins. Endorphins is short for endogenous morphines because we produce morphines internally, are very important because endorphins manage our immune system, and our immune system is cells and antibodies and chemistry in every part of us that fight infections, inflammation, allergies, autoimmune systems, and cancer. So how do we boost our happy chemistry? We boost our happy chemistry by living a happy, healthy lifestyle, good food, regular exercise, good sleep, friends and socializing, hobbies and work that we enjoy, places we like to go that we enjoy. So some people have this idea that to be happy is somehow not good. To be happy is somehow self-indulgence. But happiness is fundamentally important in being healthy. When you're unhappy, that means that your happy chemistry is low, and that means that your immune system is weak, and that means that you're more susceptible to infections, allergies, inflammation, autoimmune diseases and cancers. If you want to understand that more, read the book When the Body Says No. When the Body Says No, which is about when you're doing living the wrong life, and your body eventually gives up and becomes sick. Happiness and unhappiness are both habits. If you have a lot of distress for a long time, feeling distress becomes a habit. One of our fundamental objectives in life should be to be happy, and for the people around us to be happy. Smiling and laughing are so important. We all knew that when we feel good, we're happy. When we feel good, we're happy. But and we smile and we may laugh. But what science has now proved is that when we smile or laugh, our brain and glands produce more happy chemistry, which makes us even happier. So smiling is so important. You mustn't smile when you're angry. If something is wrong, is bad, needs fixing, well, fix it and then smile. But smiling when you should be angry and fixing things is not good. But whenever you have the opportunity to smile, smile. And that will help you to feel happier, because smiling and laughing cause our brain and glands to produce more happy chemicals. Because mental healthiness and good relationships and no addictions are the three most important things in having a good life. It's very helpful to have a simple, clear understanding of what mental health and ill health are. Mental health is having normal feelings, normal thoughts, normal facial expressions, and also normal worry, anger and sadness and loneliness, which tell us that there's something that needs fixing. And mental ill health is either too much or not enough of the normal health things. We're too high or we're too low. Too high with worry and inability to sleep and post-traumatic stress disorder, or too low with depression or inability to focus and concentrate. The fastest, easiest, best way to understand anything about mental health or addiction is watching the right 1-minute videos. Videos are the fastest, easiest, most acceptable way for learning to understand things about mental health. So I developed over 100 1-minute videos which you can find at www.mentalhealthvideos.com, mentalhealthvideos.com. People used to watch 10-minute videos. They don't anymore. They mainly watch 1-minute videos, but of course to cover everything you have to have a lot of videos. I think you need about 100 videos to cover all aspects of mental health and addiction and relationships. And if there's 100 videos, which ones do you watch with your particular needs? So we built an app. The app is called the Mental Fix It app. You can download this app, which is free, by just finding on your phone the App Store or the Google Play buttons and press on them, and in 10 seconds you've got the free Mental Fix It app on your phone. It asks you questions about every aspect of your mental health and relationships, and you can answer those questions very quickly, because each question has got 3 possible answers. No, not a problem for me. Yes, a mild problem. Yes, a severe problem. And you just tap your choice of each question, and as you tap your choice of answers for the last question, an instant report comes up on the screen of your phone, and that instant report tells you the 4 things you need to know. It tells you which 6 of the 100 videos will help you most with your particular needs. It tells you which medicines are likely to help you most. It gives you a list of all the problems that you've tapped moderate or severe too, so that you know everything that's a problem for you. And unless you know everything that's a problem, you can't fix everything. And it also gives you a graph which shows whether you're getting better or not. If you're getting better, you're on the right treatment. If you're not getting better, if the score graph is not getting better, then you need to change your treatment. Stop mental health problems from dragging on and on. They're basically habits. If you suffer loneliness long enough, loneliness will become a habit. Feeling lonely will become a habit. If you suffer anger often enough, if you're in your life, there are things that make you angry very often, then anger will become a habit. If you smile a lot, smiling will become a habit, and the feelings that go with smiling will become a habit. So it's very important to stop mental health problems from dragging on and on, because the longer they drag on, the stronger that habit will be. And to stop problems dragging on and on, you need to find the causes. And that's one weakness with mental health treatment at present. We tend to just focus on how you're feeling and try to make you feel better. But if the original cause of your unhappy feeling is still there, you're going to relapse back to feeling unhappy. To find the causes, download the Mental Fix-It app. On your phone, look for the App Store or the Google Play button and press them, and download the free Mental Fix-It app, and then often do the Mental Fix-It app check. It asks questions about every aspect of your mental health and your relationships and addictions, and each question you've got a choice of 3 answers. No, it's not a problem. Yes, it's a moderate problem. Yes, it's a severe problem. And you just tap your choice of answers for each question, and then the app gives you a report. And look for the causative factors and that have caused your unhappy feelings that have become a habit, and correct those causes. Do the app check often, because every time you do the check, every time you read a question, do I want to sleep better, for instance, you think about that and you get clearer about it. As you choose your answer, you get clearer about whether you need to sleep well or not. So repeating the check often makes you clearer and clearer and clearer, and the clearer you get about things, the more likely you are to be able to fix them. It's particularly important to get lifelong emotional problems fixed. Some of our problems start in the first year of life. In our first year of life, we establish our feeling habits, and if for any reason, such as our mother was inexperienced, or she was too busy, or she had no support, or she was sick, if for any reason, in our first year of life, we had unmet needs that distressed us. Those feelings may last very long, because anything that you feel very often becomes a habit. If, for instance, your mother was very inexperienced, or too busy, too many kids, had to go to work, whatever, or had no support. Mothers support babies, mothers need support, and often don't get it. Or she was sick in some way, then sometimes when we needed to be fed, we didn't get fed, and we had to cry and cry and cry before we eventually got fed, and that causes worry or anxiety. And if that happened often enough in the first year of our life, that when in our first year of life we're developing our feeling habits and our relationship habits, how we relate to our mother and others, then some degree of anxiety becomes part of our feeling habit. Ideally, in that first year of life, as we're experiencing life for the first time in a more conscious way, we if everything goes well and we get fed as soon as we get hungry, and we get kept clean and dry and warm, and we're protected, then our foundational feelings will be happy, and our relationships with people will be happy. But if there are problems, then we will develop some degree of anxiety or worry, loneliness, sadness, and irritability, anger. Nobody has a perfect infancy, and if you have got emotional problems that you've had, as long as you can remember, get them fixed. on your phone, find the App Store button or the Google Play button and tap it. Download the free Mental Fix It app, and then often do its check. Often tap no, moderate or severe for each question, and you'll get an instant report that explains what your problems are and tells you which 6 of our 100-minute videos will help you most. Some people have such terrible problems that they can't face them, and they can't deal with them. There's about 4 or 5 things: childhood sexual abuse, schizophrenia, type 1 bipolar disorder, which is much worse than the usual type 2 highs and lows, post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic evil focus. If your main problem is one of those very big ones, then and you can't face them or deal with them or get them fixed, you may focus on something different, like Guantanamo Bay, or the terrible things the CIA does, or conspiracy theories, or becoming a billionaire, or doing some great achievement. But the best strategy, if you have had something really big and bad in your life, is to focus on your smaller problems. Doing the Mental Fix It app will tell you all of your problems, and if you can't deal with the big ones, deal with a smaller fixable one. Just look at the list of problems that your app report gives you and pick one that you feel ready and able to fix, a smaller fixable problem, and deal with that. And when you fix that smaller fixable problem, you'll feel a bit happier, a bit stronger, and you'll be a bit better problem solver. Then find another, look at the list and find another smaller fixable problem and fix that, and then another and fix that. And when you've fixed all your smaller problems, you'll be so much happier and stronger, more optimistic, and more capable of fixing problems that you'll probably be able to fix the big one. Childhood sexual abuse is terrible, and one of the worst things about it is that it may isolate you. You may not want to tell anyone about it, and you keep yourself and you're isolated, and isolation just makes it all worse. The problem is that sexual predators um, are very cunning and very experienced. Research shows that um, the most sexual predators in their lifetime uh, uh, victimize over 100 uh, children, um, and so they know that at any time they could suddenly be in great disgrace on the front page of the newspaper or on the television, and at risk of going to prison for long periods of time. So they get very skillful at stopping their victims from telling anyone. They make great threats. They may threaten to kill you if you tell anyone else, or they try to somehow make you feel guilty, bad, evil, and ashamed to tell anyone. But you're not the person that should be ashamed. They're the person that should be ashamed. So what you must do if you're being or have been victimized sexually in childhood is tell someone. Just tell anyone to get started, and then find and tell someone who can really help you. That's the way to break out of this awful situation. Sleep is one of our fundamental needs, to be a good sleeper. And most of us mostly sleep pretty well, but some people have severe problems with sleeping. I still remember a young man who hung himself because he couldn't sleep. They get so distressed and so desperate. He said, which of course may not have been the case, but he thought he only slept about 6 hours a week, and that was early in my work with mental health, and I didn't know how to help him. Most sleeping tablets were addictive, and that means that after a while you took a lot and it still didn't put you to sleep. Eventually he got so desperate that he hung himself. So first of all, realize that sleep has to be a priority. That's something very important that you need to care about. Secondly, try to go to sleep at the same time every night. Keep your bedroom for sleeping and making love. Don't do lots of other activities in your bedroom that distract you. Meditation can be a great help in going to sleep. With meditation, you focus on your breathing. You breathe steadily, and if you breathe steadily, regularly, for enough time, you'll go to sleep. If you take medicine to help you sleep, make sure it's not addictive, not a benzodiazepine. Unfortunately, the big groups of sedatives have been addictive. Originally it was barbiturates, and barbiturates made people sleep at first, but the nature of addictive substances is that you develop a resistance to them, so that you need a bigger and bigger amount to have their effect, and eventually even very big amounts don't work because you've developed so much resistance. I call focusing on the CIA or Guantanamo Bay or conspiracy theories or the terrible things they do to women or children in some country or place, PTEF, that's post-trauma evil focus. And people develop post-trauma evil focus as a way of avoiding some very big personal close problem by focusing on some far away problem. The way to fix very big problems is to find your smaller problems and fix your smaller fixable problems, which will make you stronger and happier and a better problem solver, and then you can fix the big problems. For instance, schizophrenia is very big and very nasty, and people get so focused on it that they neglect other things. If you're schizophrenic and you've got no friends, it's much worse. If you've got schizophrenic and you've got no hobbies or work or activities that you like, the schizophrenia is much worse. If you've got schizophrenia and you've got no places that you like to go to and enjoy, then the schizophrenia is much worse. So if you've got a terrible problem like schizophrenia, take the antipsychotic medicines, but they don't fix everything. Think about friends. Have you got friends? You need at least 1, 2 or 3 good friends, and if you've got them, that'll make the schizophrenia much less of a problem. Think about activities you like to do, hobbies or sports or whatever, or just work that you enjoy, and that will make the schizophrenia much less in your mind. If you've got places that you love to go and you go often and enjoy yourself there, then that will make the schizophrenia much less dominant in your life. So overcome very big things by making sure that all the little things, little but important things, are okay, and to do that, download the Mental Fix-It app on your phone, which is free, and do its check often to find smaller problems that you can fix. Post-traumatic stress disorder is severe bouts of worry, anxiety, sweating, shaking, nausea that hit you from time to time and are very distressing. They usually arise from a brainstorm, an electrical or chemical brainstorm caused by closeness to a very nasty, life-threatening experience, either a life-threatening experience you had or a life-threatening experience someone close to you had. The best solution for that is twofold. First of all, download the Mental Fix app and find all your other problems, the other smaller problems, and fix them, and that will make you stronger and happier to deal with the post-traumatic stress disorder. And secondly, powder medicine that you drop on your tongue and suck, don't swallow, gets absorbed into your bloodstream and starts working in 5 minutes. And if you carry powder medicine, calming powder medicine, which is non-addictive, around in a pocket dispenser like this, at the very first sign of post-traumatic disorder starting, you can whiz it and drop some of the powder medicine on your tongue, and it gets absorbed and starts working in 5 minutes, which stops the post-traumatic stress disorder early. Any tablets or capsules that you swallow and go right down your stomach and gut take half an hour to an hour to start to be absorbed and start working, which is just too slow. If you take the medicines 2 or 3 times a day to prevent attacks of post-traumatic stress disorder, you usually get dependent on those medicines and they lose their effect. But if you just use them when you need them and you use them as powder on your tongue is red or pink because the blood vessels are so near the surface, and the powder, tiny powder granules get into the bloodstream in your tongue in 5 minutes. And that's fast enough to stop or reduce post-traumatic stress disorder attacks. With anger, that's the same. Some anger is just bullying. People found that they got upset and angry and everybody did exactly what they wanted. So they think, wow, next time I need everybody to do what I want, I'll just get angry. I'll speak loud or shout or shake my fist and they'll do what I want. So some anger is just bullying. Some anger is genuinely justified. There's something bad or wrong that needs fixing, and it makes you angry, and that's a necessary part of being motivated to fix it. But some anger is due to disturbances of your brain chemistry and brain electricity that have happened so often that they are a habit, they become a habit. And that kind of anger is best dealt with powder medicine in a pocket dispenser that you carry everywhere you go, and you just drop it on your tongue at the first sign of irritability or anger, or when you meet someone that you usually get angry with, or you go to some place where you usually get angry, just drop some powder on your tongue and stop it early when it's much easier to stop, and then the anger never gets bad. And every time you stop a bad feeling early, you slightly weaken the habit, the underlying electrical and chemical flows that cause that bad feeling, and that's how you get rid of it. ADD, ADHD has become a major problem in recent years. It's due to a part of your brain, in the front part of your brain, only being half awake and not doing the things that it should do. The three main signs of ADD, ADHD are, first of all, inability to focus and concentrate. Secondly, impulsivity, just doing things without thought quickly, which are often not good things to do. And the third thing is hyperactivity or overactivity. Not everybody with ADD has overactivity. Some people just sit there and gaze out the window and can't focus or concentrate. And unfortunately, the medicines for ADD, ADHD are all addictive. That's dexamphetamine, Ritalin, and Adderall. And to safeguard these addictive medicines, there are rules and regulations which help some people but make it worse for a lot of other people. The two regulations are that only certain specialists, mainly paediatricians and psychiatrists, are allowed to prescribe those dangerous addictive medicines. And secondly, even the psychiatrists and the paediatricians are not allowed to prescribe them for addicts. So that means that if you've got ADD, to get it diagnosed and treated, you've got to find a specialist doctor who's legally authorized to prescribe those addictive medicines. And those specialist doctors often have a waiting list, and they're often expensive, costly, and they're often not like your local doctor just down the road. They're away in some special city location. So financially well-to-do people know where to find these doctors and can afford them, but a lot of people with ADD are not well off. There's other people in their family, often a parent who have ADD as well, and so the family is poor, and they don't have lots of good connections, and they don't know where to, or how to find these specialist doctors to make the diagnosis and prescribe the treatment. So they're far more likely to end up getting treatment from a street drug dealer and becoming an addict. And once they've become an addict, even those specialist doctors are not allowed to prescribe for them the usual addictive medicines. So I had one patient who hung himself because of that. He was a pretty smart 23-year-old IT worker, but he was distressed, and he'd started to take street drugs, and he came to see me, and I checked him out and said, "You got ADD, but I can't prescribe the medicine for you because I'm just a GP. I'm not a pediatrician or a psychiatrist." And I said, "There's no point in me referring you to a special doctor because they're not allowed to prescribe those addictive medicines for you because you've become because you've been taking addictive street drugs." But I said, there is a medicine that I can prescribe for you called modafinil, which is not addictive, so all doctors can prescribe it. But most doctors don't know about it because the pharmaceutical industry hasn't pushed it, because they push the addictive medicines, not the non-addictive medicines. So they'll get more sales and more profits. So I gave him a prescription for modafinil. 30 tablets cost him $143. It wasn't subsidised by the government. And he weighed 125 kilos, so he needed 3 tablets every morning. So 30 tablets lasted him 10 days, and it worked perfectly for him. He was really good on modafinil. But after 10 days he had none left, and he just couldn't afford another $143. And there was nothing that I could do about that at the time. And so he hung himself. And then I found I could have bought double strength modafinil tablets from India for 50 cents each. So 75 cents a day would have fixed him. So from then on, that's what I did. I got modafinil tablets from India for ADD patients, which I was allowed to prescribe and which they could afford. There are other important things about the management of ADD. One is a good diet. Junk food definitely makes ADD worse. Another is exercise. Exercise definitely makes ADD better. So is doing things that you love doing. That helps you to focus and concentrate. But people from low socioeconomic groups, which often have ADD, don't like schoolwork, have junk food, often don't play any sport or get much exercise. I remember one 12-year-old girl his mother brought her to me, and I said, she's got ADD, and the mother said, well, when I was in school, they didn't know about ADD, but they made me run around the school oval twice every morning before lessons, and I could study much better after that. So exercise helps. So if you've got ADD, walk to school or ride your bike and get exercise, and you'll be better. With depression and bipolar disorder, which is depressive periods alternating with high periods, it's very important to find the cause. Nothing happens without causes, and major depression and bipolar disorder usually have several causes, and unfortunately the care of people with depression and bipolar disorder often just focuses on the bad feeling, and people are given antidepressants and the cause is not found. If you download the Mental Fix-It app and do its check, you'll probably be able to find the causes of your depression and to then fix them, and then that will make fixing the depression or the bipolar disorder much easier. The same with worry, anxiety. Find the cause. Download the Mental Fix-It app, tap your answer to its questions and find out what causes the anxiety. But often it was a lot of very worrying experiences at some past time in your life which made worry, anxiety often, and made it into a habit. So a very important part of the management of worry, anxiety is finding the causes and treating those causes, and also practicing being a smiler and a laugher, which causes your brain and glands to produce chemicals that are anti-anxiety or anti-fear. Just to hark back to the Mental Fix-It app, or the Mental A to Z Fix-It app, it takes 10 minutes. And a lot of people are just not prepared to do something that takes 10 minutes. But seriously think about it. If you can make the rest of your life happier, healthier, safer, and it makes you a more attractive person, isn't it worth spending 10 minutes? You just go to your phone, find the App Store or Google Play button, press on them, and in 10 seconds you can download the free Mental Fix-It app. it asks you questions about every significant part of your life and your relationships and your addictions, if any, and you just tap your choice of answers to each question. There are three choices. No, it's not a problem. Yes, it's a moderate problem. Yes, it's a severe problem. And you can just go tap, tap, tap. You can do it on the bus, on the train, in your lunch break, at 2 o'clock in the morning when you can't sleep. Anytime, anywhere. Just whiz out your phone and tap, 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 tap. And as you tap your choice of answers to the last question, the app, your phone processes your answers and you get an instant app score. That instant app score helps you to know how bad your problem is, that instant app report tells you which 6 of our 100 under-a-minute videos to watch, which will help you most with your particular problem, tells you which medicines are most likely to work for you, gives you a list of all your problems in descending order, and makes a graph of your scores that shows whether your treatment is working and you're getting better. If your score graph is going down, that's because your individual problems are getting less severe and your treatment's working. But if the graph is just horizontal, it's not going down, that means the treatment's not working and you need to revise the treatment. I've been very busy lately, and I think that I'd better stop now, and we'll see you again later. Bye.